Of our relationship over all these years that we've known each other and worked with each other. Probably the most well-known of those occasions is I had to follow him to the microphone at the DNC convention in Chicago in 1996. Oh, yes, and then he did just remind me that I did have to ask him to leave our house one night in the 1980s. Yeah. Because he and my husband and a few other folks had started talking around lunch, as I recall. Everybody began dropping off except for Jesse and Bill. And they just kept going. And it finally got to be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It was after midnight. And I said to him, you know, I love you, but you gotta leave. But it is wonderful to be here with all of you, especially to celebrate the continuing work that so many of you have done that has really made it possible for people of all ages, but particularly young people, to feel that opportunity was there, to find ways to live up to their own God-given potential by having doors opened or knocked down, having ladders built or once again put up. And knowing that you all have played a role in this, the clergy, business, activists, professionals, all of you. And I really am here today to say thank you. And I want to echo what you just heard and what you will no doubt hear from Dr. Haynes. They're really sandwiching me between two great orators today. And I wish I could stay and hear Dr. Haynes as well, but I do have to get over to Clark for a big event we're having there to lay out the agenda that I am promoting in this campaign. To stand against systemic racism and injustice, to remind us that the work is not yet done and we should not grow weary in doing it. We have to take on the continuing abuses where oppression is more prevalent than opportunity. We have to light the eyes of young people again so that they believe in their own dreams and the potential of achieving them. We have to create those channels of opportunity so that you go from childhood to adulthood, pursuing your dreams instead of from cradle to prison and seeing them die. And it will be absolutely critical that we all work together on this. You know, a president can do a lot, and we have seen how hard it is to get things done with President Obama. You know, I remember so well after that election in 2008, he called me, asked me to come to Chicago. It was just the two of us. I didn't know why he wanted to see me. It turned out he wanted to ask me to be Secretary of State. But before we got into all of that, he looked at me and he said, it's so much worse than they told us. The economy was not just flat on its back, it had dropped into a hole. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month. By the end of it, 9 million Americans had lost their jobs, 5 million had lost their homes, and $13 trillion of family wealth had disappeared. And as with so much else in our country, that disproportionately hit black families, black workers, black dreams. And the president got to work. He saved us, I believe, from a Great Depression. And he doesn't get the credit he deserves for what he did to help our economy recover and put us back on our feet. So we are standing, but we're not yet running. And it will be up to me, assuming we get this done, to be a president who builds on what we have achieved and goes even further. And I cannot do it without all of you, because the messages we need to send have to come from every part of our society. There is so much work to be done, and it is good work. Yes, there is healing to be done, but there is also hope to be revitalized. There are opportunities we're just beginning to understand because Jesse's absolutely right. We won't know how good we are until everybody can play on the American team, that everybody can suit up and pursue their dreams, and by doing so, make us all the better. So I'm laying out policies and I'm talking about plans, but at the heart of it, I want us to start respecting each other. I want us to be kinder again to each other. I want us to love each other as we are called to do, those of us who are people of faith. And maybe you can't run for president on a love and kindness platform, but I am going to try. Because unless we can begin seeing ourselves walk in the other's shoes, this great experiment known as America will not be all it can and should be. So whether it's a child who is too hungry to learn, or whether it's a small business that doesn't get the help and support it needs to start and grow, or whether it's a youngster who never had the help growing up that enabled him to make the right decisions, and instead of getting a second chance, gets none. Whatever the situation that our fellow men and women and those boys and girls looking up to us find themselves in, we have to start behaving like we are all part of the same family, and that every child is our child. As Jesse said, I was blessed to start off my professional career working for the Children's Defense Fund. Marian Wright Edelman is one of my mentors and one of my friends. And she gave me such a great gift. You know, I actually got the first job I had with her by going up to her after I heard her speak and saying, I want to come to work for you. And she said, well, that's wonderful, except I have no money to pay you. I said, so if I can figure out how to get myself paid, you'll give me a job? She goes, well, I'm not going to turn that down. So I got a Law Student Civil Rights Research Council internship and went to work, and then as soon as I graduated, went back to work and served on the board. And her passion and her faith that we could do better not just inspired me, but challenged me. Because I know we can, and I know we must. So as we think about how to create more opportunity, let's also think about how we do it with more kindness and love, and how we create a country that is worthy of our best dreams. That's what I want to do, working with you to be your partner. That's what I think we must do together. Thank you all very much.
Let's give her another hand, everyone. Secretary, who would like to